Yo, I'm Fiyahdred and I'm here with Noods Levels as part of the Tread series. Boop, boop. Oh, so I'm Fiyahdred and I'm a music producer, DJ and artist. So I usually start a track by putting down some synth lines, typically something percussive just to kind of get the groove and the rhythm. So before the beat had the kicks on every beat, so it was kind of like giving a standard 4 to the floor kind of pulse. But then I decided to change the pattern of the kicks to kind of just give it a bit more bounce and create different pockets. And since doing that, I like this beat a lot more. This is definitely a beat I've struggled to round up and put into place over the last few years, but I feel like everything is kind of fit into place now and it's just a lot more enjoyable to listen to. I'll just talk you through how I program my drums. So all up here we have the kicks, the clap, the shaker, some percussion, one set of toms and then another set of toms to create some drops every 8 bars. So I typically program my drums in battery. There's probably a much faster workflow than putting each individual sound in one channel, but that's just what works for me at the moment, and it just gives me a lot more control when trying to shape the drums and put them in their place basically. So yeah, these 2 drum samples I got off Splice a few years ago. The claps as well, I believe. Yeah, they're not from Splice. I think they're part of the Battery samples as well. Battery by Native Instruments. Basic shaker loop, I think that's from Splice. Percussion, I think this is all Native Instrument stock as well. And yeah, I think the same goes for the rest of these percussive elements as well. They're all Native Instrument samples. I typically generate ideas by going in the shower and just allowing all the random ideas to come into my head. I started off as a beatboxer, so there was a lot of connection with beats and production from the get-go basically. I just like making tunes that have like a lot of groove, and you know, it's just like a head bopper. You feel it and you're like, okay, cool, I'm understanding what's going on here. When it comes to making melodies, I typically always have a simple approach, and if there's anything that I want to add to give it a bit more character and a bit more shape, then I'll do that. So this bit here where it's kind of like a breakdown, I've got a piano here where I've automated the delay, so the feedback and the wet signal on the delay, so that it kind of just makes it sound spacey and just kind of like swirling around your ears. It's a very simple piano loop. It's probably like 3 keys, definitely giving 1 finger beat, but we move. And it expands and then comes back down. Also, when I was making the piano loop, the velocity increases across the loop, so the notes start off being really soft and then it goes to the hardest velocity towards the end of the loop to kind of give that fading in effect. I haven't been able to break away from the standard 4-bar formula, and that's something I'm really keen to expand and explore over the next few months and years. So both of those piano loops playing at the same time. The lower piano loop is panned a bit to the left, and the high piano loop is panned a bit to the right, so that they're not fighting for space and they can just like exist in the song at the same time. This is just a simple stab, a simple organ sound, playing at one octave and then at another. I think my advice for pushing through writer's block is approaching a song like a mantra. So sometimes you just say words and you repeat it, or you just leave the song as a mantra. It feels good. You know, sometimes you just scatter words around the song and it just feels nice. Like it just feels nice to hear it. It feels nice to let the beat breathe, and sometimes it doesn't need to be so overwhelmed by other things in the track. Since making my song Anyway that came out on Hyperdub, I've developed some signature sounds that typically reside within like the percussive elements of the song. So for example, like this little drum fill at the end of each 8-bar. Something like that, and another one. Yeah, those are like the type of things that I've been including more in my music, because it just gives it a little bit of a signature sound. And then I just love when drums start and finish a particular part of the beat, and it just keeps it interesting, so that it's not like 8 bars and 16 bars of like the same thing happening with like no variation or alteration. This is something my mum taught me as well. Any income that you get, try to save 10% of it. Be prepared for it, little by little. If you get a tenner, save £1. I know it's challenging. And also, don't beat yourself up about it if you do dip into the savings, because we all got to live. Life is art as well, and you should be able to reflect that how you want to without feeling ashamed of how challenging it is to get there. And try your best to enjoy the journey. Just keep having fun, keep exploring, keep connecting with people, keep expanding your community. If there's something you want to explore, make sure you're in the right community for that. This has been Fiyahdred, and thank you for watching.